and I will have some ravens supply you with food. When I first read this, I'd be like, what in the Harry Potter birds delivering mail and meals is going on? Go to Zarephath in the region of Sidon and stay there. I've directed a widow there to supply you with food. Pause. How many of you are like, what the heck are you talking about? Hold on, stay with me. So Elijah, he's miraculously fed through ravens. It says morning and evening they brought him meat and bread. This is why I think this is such a God move. Okay, listen. So ravens were one of the birds that in Leviticus were considered unclean. Israel wasn't supposed to touch them, eat them, nothing. Right? So an Israelite would hear the ravens are going to provide you food, and they'd be like, ugh, what you mean? Like, he going to bring, like, they would cringe. It'd be terrible. But then Elijah's like, you got to get up and go to Zarephath because I've commanded a widow there to meet you, and she'll be the one to sustain you. And just those two words in one sentence, widow and sustain, that's an oxymoron. Because here's the deal. Widows were almost always associated with poverty, abject need, destitution, the most vulnerable, the most needy, the bottom of the barrel in society. In other words, there ain't no way this widow's going to be able to sustain anything. But it makes me want to sing, who is like the Lord? Nobody. You guys know the song? Anyway, no, thank you, Tina. Somebody gonna know the song. But listen, nobody is like God, because who would design to use some dirty old birds and a widow, an unlikely widow, as the sustainers of life? As the one God chose, he chose them to be, you're going to sustain the life of my servant. It's only a God who restores honor to the lowly, who uses the most unlikely agents to be the prime movers in his plans. Right? God is always undermining hierarchical power structures and putting the least desirable and the least capable of our society right at the center of the story. That's God. So I'm like, that's such a God move, while this random Raven story.